All right, everyone, welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Rome Wilkerson. Guys, I'm coming to you from the city of Houston, down here in the ever so hot state of Texas. I want to welcome you all to the stream. Hopefully, everyone has had a wonderful, productive day. Let me know what you guys have been up to, that you guys make it out to the park, the beach, or any place else that you got to get out and celebrate on this May 26th. Let me know what you guys have been up to. All right, so tonight, guys, we're going to be just kind of going through some of the tech I normally talk about. Lasers, laser engraving equipment, some batteries, some solar powered batteries, drones. I'm just kind of scrolling through here. Also, some live streaming gear. So we'll be talking about some cameras and a few tablets that you'll be able to live stream using in your everyday workflow. A couple of audio devices as well. So we got a lot to get to this evening. So as I said, hopefully everyone is having a wonderful day. Let me know what your day has consisted of. You know, of course, I always want to know what you guys have been up to. All right, let me check all of our different platforms, making sure that we are live, so I can see that we are live over on Facebook. I can also see that we are live. Wait a minute, let me check. Let me make sure on Facebook before I commit to that. But yes, we are live over on Facebook. Okay, and we are live on YouTube as well. And I'm pretty sure we're also live over on TikTok. So if you guys are watching on TikTok, go ahead and drop something down in the comments so that I will know that you guys can see us over on TikTok as well. All right, so we're going to get right to it, guys. We're going to get right to it. Wait, let me check one more thing. And then we are on our way. Yep, there we go. 100%. All right, here we go. All right, so the first item we have listed in our carousel tonight, guys, is from our friends over at LaserPecker. This is the LaserPecker LP5. This is a 20-watt diode, 20-watt fiber laser. Now, if you guys have been watching me anytime whatsoever, you have seen me use these things multiple times. But let me show you what we got. Let me go ahead and pop over here real quick and show you guys. All right, so here is our laser that you guys can see right here on the top. This is the LP5. This is the 20-watt fiber, 20-watt diode laser. The bundle also comes with this air purifier that you guys see down here. And you also receive a rotary chuck. That's going to be great for your coffee mugs, jewelry, anything that's round. And you also receive a slide extension for that unit as well. I have it back there on that shelf. Yeah, I had to move some things around because we just do not have enough free space. Guys, we're running out of space here in the studio, and we're doing it quick. We're running out of space. I'm going to have to start throwing things in the garage again. Y'all already know. All right, let me get this camera lined up again. All right, so the LP5, guys, you can get it here on Amazon for $43.99. $43.99 is the price for this unit. And if you are interested in laser engraving, if you are interested in working with a variety of different materials, I would say give this guy a definite look. This is going to work with your wood. It's going to work with acrylic. It's going to work with plastics. It's going to work with a variety of different materials. So, you know, whatever it is you might be into, is a good chance you're going to be able to do it with this laser. Now, the next laser that we have coming up, because we have a couple of lasers in the carousel tonight. Now, this next one we use just on our last stream to create some cool stuff. Now, that laser is from our friends over at X-Tool, and that's this guy right here. Check it out. So this is the X-Tool M1 Ultra. So this is a combination 4-in-1 device. You actually have a print module, you have a pen module, and you also have, let me show you guys here. We got a print module and a pen module here. And inside, we have, in this specific unit, we have a 10-watt laser, and we also have our cut module inside there as well. So you can actually add a blade to this guy, and you can cut things like vinyl, cardboard, you know, paper, stuff like that. So it's kind of an all-in-one, guys. It's an all-in-one device that is going to be ideal for a lot of different types of projects. let me show you what the most recent thing we did with this laser. Let's go over here to our top-down view. So the most recent thing we did with this laser, first was this little frog that you see here. Now this was made with 3mm yellow acrylic. And then the second thing that we created just a couple of nights ago was this little puffin. I think it was Terry that asked for this. But yeah, we engraved and cut this puffin with the M1 Ultra. So the laser, even for a 10-watt laser, guys, it is very powerful. It's very precise. And the software that comes from Xtools, just like with LaserPecker, is very accurate, is very user-friendly. So it just really depends on, you know, the size of an area that you're trying to work with, what type of projects you guys might be interested in doing. But I am a fan of these lasers, regardless. I see Terry's in the house. Welcome, Terry. Welcome to the stream. So, yeah, Terry, we're just talking about your little puffin right here. So you can see that. And I don't know if you saw when I did this the other night how well this actually came out. I think it did, man, an amazing job. And we have just a little bit of that yellow acrylic left over. So we might try to fit one more little character in there that can kind of match up with all these other guys here. So we have a little owl right here. We have our puffin, our frog, which we need to give a name. And we also, y'all already know who this is. Y'all know who this guy is right here, right? You know who this guy is? Yeah, that's Richard. Richard the Lionheart. Richard the Lionheart. Trying to keep up with 2 streams and WWE. Wow, you are all over the place today, Terry. Look at you. Look at Terry. All right. So, okay, Terry, I'm going to go ahead and create something really quick here with the laser. So, what is your choice for today? What can we make today that tickles Terry's pickle? Because Terry, like I said, was the first person in the chat. Again, I think she gets to make the choice of what we're going to make tonight. So let me know, Terry, what do you have in your mind? What is, you know, rattling around up in your cranium that you think would be a good idea for me to make something or print and cut something tonight? Let me know what you got going on. Let me know. But anyway, guys, this laser from Xtool is currently $1799.99. And like I said, everything you need comes in the bundle. You know, you have your hose for venting the smoke out. It has the protective cover built into it. It also has internal lights. An angel. Okay, an angel. Let's find an angel for Terry. Terry wants an angel tonight, so yeah, let's find an angel. Let's find an angel for Terry. All right, let's see what we got coming up here, Terry. Hold on. Give me a second. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Angel. You want that to be PNG. Okay. So let's find an angel. What do we have? So we got a lot of choices, Terry. We got a lot of choices as far as an angel goes. So let me find something really cute. Here is a cute one. I don't know how well this will come out, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it anyway. So let me go ahead and save it. And all right, let's go to our software. And we're going to go ahead and get everything set up so the laser can get started, because you know this thing takes a little bit to get the jobs done. All right, so let me drag our software over so you guys are going to be able to see what's going on. And there we go. Let's go ahead and start a new project. Let me switch over here real quick so you guys can see what's happening. All right, so our laser is connected. We're going to go ahead and do our work path or work area. So let's go ahead and just click right here. It's going to be a rectangular shape. Let's just go ahead and choose that. Let me move the laser. And right about there. right there. Let's move it back so I can measure thickness of our material. Let's click done, and let's come over here and measure the thickness of our material. All right, let's tilt this camera down a little bit so you guys can kind of see what's going on. All right, so let's go ahead and measure that thickness again so you guys can see what happens. It has a little probe that comes down, and it just touches the material, letting it know what the measurement is for that. So let's go ahead and also run our framing to see, make sure this is lined up properly. All right, so let me go ahead and drag in. Let's drag in our angel. All right, let me grab our angel, Terry. All right. Where did Terry's angel go? There it is. There's Terry's angel. Let's drag that in. And that's good right there. All right, that thing is massive. So we're definitely going to have to do some modifications here. This thing is huge. All right, so let's bring it down to a manageable size. And about there should be good. And then we're going to go in here. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what's going on. Let's bring our angel up. All right, so we're also going to do a quick little crop here. So let me click on the crop, and let's bring these sides in because that's just a lot of wasted space. Okay, let's bring that in right about there. Let's bring that top down. We don't need all that headroom. And we could even probably knock out some of this skirt room. Okay, we're good. Let's hit save. Now let's move this guy back right here to the center. Boom, just like that. That's going to be our little angel for Terry. Terry, let's go ahead and frame it out. Let's see what this is going to look like on our acrylic. Let me hit the framing button. All right, we're good. We're good. We are good to go. All right, Terry, if you're ready for me to start this job, let me know in the comments, and I will make it so. I shall make it happen, Captain. Make it happen. Terry says it is very cute. I agree. All right, so let's pop back over here real quick. So, Terry, if you're ready for me to make this happen, let me know down in the comments, and we will make it happen right away. Right away! All right, so let me check the power settings before I go any further, because I did make something else earlier today. So I need to change the material to the yellow acrylic. And then I need to check our power settings. So we're going to do 60% power. Let's bring that up to about 65. The speed is fine. Jarvis is okay. I'm going to bring up the, let's bring that up to 140. So we're going to do lines per centimeter is going to be 140. Jarvis bitmap mode is what we're going to be using. We're going to be doing a bi-directional engraving. Our speed is 150 and our power is 65. This guy is ready to rock and roll. All right, Terry, if you're ready, let's go ahead and get this guy started. Let's go ahead and click on process. And there's our little angel right there. And I'm going to go ahead and click on start. And I'm going to hit the start button. All right, we've hit our start button. All right, so it's starting to engrave our little angel. Let me take a little peek. All right, everything looks good. Everything looks good. Great. Now, the next item that we do have listed in the carousel, guys, is from our friends over at Govee. Now, this is a particle measuring device. It basically measures the air quality in the room. So this is the Govee Smart Air monitor. and I have one right here in the studio. Joanna's in the house. Welcome, Joanna. Welcome to the stream. So let me show it to you guys really quickly here. Let me switch over. All right, so as you guys can see, our laser is currently running, and you can see right here what our, let me adjust this up. You guys can see right here what our air quality looks like. So we got really good air quality in the room, and believe it or not, I'm not even actually connected to the air purifier, so we're still getting good quality air in here. And you can see about where this is placed in relations to the laser. So all of the different lasers are really close to this air sensor, just so I can keep an eye on, if there's any, fumes or anything that's popping up. All right, so let me reposition this and tilt this camera down a little bit for you guys. All right, so you guys should all be able to see what the laser's doing right now. Yeah, Gobi comes out with a ton of different items, guys. A ton of different products, And I have not yet found a Gobi product that I was not a fan of. I have gone through so many things, whether it be, Christmas lights, air purifiers, humidifiers, heaters. All of the different Gobi products have just been a champ in my book. But anyway, if you guys are interested in this air quality sensor, you can get it here on Amazon, guys, for $45.99. $45.99. Let me see what is going on with our chat. All right, so what do we have next? What do we have next in a carousel? So I don't know if you guys caught my last video that I did just recently. I was actually able to make some cashew milk with this new cashew milk blender. Check this thing out. Let me get it. All right, check this out. So this right here, guys, is a smart blender. This is a cashew milk maker. Well, you can call it that, but in actuality, it actually has a bunch of other features. I mean, you can make juice with this. You can make soups with this. It has a ton of different features. But because Rome is trying to get a little bit healthier, I did want to experiment with some non-protein based milks, like for my coffee and espresso and stuff like that in the morning. So I used to drink almond milk all the time. I had some cashews just laying around the other morning. So I just threw some cashews in here, about 500 milliliters of water. And I'm telling you guys, the cashew milk came out perfect. I mean, perfect. I was actually using it for my coffee this morning. But if you guys are trying to, also get a little bit healthier, this might be something that you might want to consider. It's a great price for it. It's only $49.99, $49.99 for this guy. So definitely check it out. All right, so our engraving has finished, but I forgot to set a cut path. I forgot to set up a cut path. So let's go back to the desktop here real quick. And we're going to set this guy to cut out now. See, Terry, you distracted me. You distracted me, Terry, and I forgot to set the cut path. But that's all right. We can still do it. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So let's click on this, and let's do our offset. And let's bring that in pretty tight. Right about there. Maybe a little bit tighter. I think that's as tight as we're going to get. And then just on the inside there. Okay, let's hit confirm. And then what we're going to do here is go over to cut. And we're going to set this at 2 passes. Let's do 2 passes at a speed of 2. And that should cut out with no problem. I am going to lower the focus. So it's going to drop the laser down about 2 millimeters each pass to cut this guy out. So I'm going to turn off the output for the angel, and we're just going to run the cut line, which is this line right here. So let's go ahead and hit process. All right, so there's our cut path. I don't know why it has that little circle next to it, but it does. So we'll just let it run. It's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and hit start. And then I'm going to hit the start button over here. All right, so we're gonna cut it out. All right, guys, so the laser is starting to cut out our little angel. Let me know what you guys think about the milk maker. If that's something that you guys would use in your personal lives. I am curious. I'm just curious because, like I said, I want to get a little bit healthier. Not super healthy, but healthier. I see Hope is over on YouTube saying hello to everyone. Hello, Hope, and welcome to the stream over on YouTube. Thank you for stopping in tonight. All right, so the laser is cutting right now. You guys should be able to see that. This is our first pass. We're going to do 2 passes. And on the second pass, the laser is going to lower itself by 2 millimeters, which should ensure that it cuts all the way through. So we're doing 90% power at a speed of 2. And this should all be done pretty quick. All right, so while that's doing this thing, let's go ahead and talk about this next product. All right, so the next product, guys, that we have listed in the carousel is actually this battery that you see here. Now, this is from our friends over at Blue Yeti. This is the AC. This is the AC2A. This is a 300 watt-hour battery. Now, I have been using these batteries. I have 2 of them, 2 different versions of it, but this is the newest one right here. But I use this battery every single day to power these lights that you see up here, and to charge some of the other things that I keep on this desk. And that can be cameras, monitors, or whatever the case it is. I like having the batteries plugged into AC power, and then I can plug my other devices into them. They're technically being charged by the batteries, but the batteries are also maintaining a charge from the AC power. But a lot of these little cameras do require to be charged, periodically. And, this is one way that I do it. Now, I have another battery back here. As you guys can see, I'm actually using this battery right now to charge some of my batteries for one of my monitors. So Blue Yeti has made some amazing products, guys. And yes, before someone asks, yes, these batteries are powerful enough to run a bunch of these lasers. So I've run smaller lasers like the laser pecker with those 300 watt batteries, but I've also run larger lasers like this X-Tool M1 Ultra, and also this Akira laser that you guys see back here. It was able to power that laser as well. So, it's a very powerful battery, guys. And right now, it's on an exclusive prime price of $139. $139 for this battery right here, $139. So if you live in a place like I do in the state of Texas, where you get crazy storms, all kind of crazy stuff that can happen, I'm telling you guys, definitely get yourself one of these batteries. If nothing else, just to be able to charge up some things, on the fly. All right, we see Joyful is over on YouTube as well. This is a busy desktop. Yes, there's a lot of stuff on my desktop. You can be assured of that. Joanna over on Amazon says the older model wouldn't work for your coffee pot. Huh, is that right? So what are you saying? You saying it didn't have enough power? Is that what you're saying? It didn't have enough power for your coffee pot? We can test it. We can test it right now with the nut maker, milk maker. So if you want me to test it, I'll go grab some cashews out of the kitchen, and we'll see if the newer one has enough power to run this blender, and see how that works out. All right, so our laser is done. So we'll be able to show you guys Terry's little angel here in just a second. Let me go ahead and raise this guy up right here. Let's move this acrylic off to the side. Little guy falls right out there. Got kind of trapped under there. That's okay. All right, so let me show you guys really quickly here what Terry's little angel looks like. So here is Terry's angel. This is what she chose or she wanted an angel and I chose the angel. But there's the little angel that was engraved here on this yellow acrylic, cut out really clean, no burn marks or anything like that. So we got a really good result on that. So yeah, that's a win. That's a win, my babies. That's a win. So now we have an angel on the desk, an owl, a puffin. We have a frog for holy chat. We have this big head guy right here for my friends Richard. All right. So cute. Okay, so back to the experiment. Would you like me to test the milk maker to see if it'll work with one of these batteries? Let me know. Terry saying hi to Joanna. Let me see also what's going on over here. Makes good cashew milk that's really tasty, Hope says. So do you guys want me to test it? You want me to show you how it works? I got to make a little room for it, but yeah, I can power it up. Right here. Actually, wait, where can I put it? Okay, so the laser, we're done with the laser. So I can make some room here. Move a couple of things around. Let's move some stuff around in here. And some of these cameras. And some space on the desk. We gotta have some space on the desk. Okay, so let me turn this camera around and face it downward. Okay, so we're gonna put this over here on the desk. So let's turn that down right about there. Okay, so let's get, here is our milk maker, okay, and here's the power cord. I'm gonna plug it in, and let's plug this guy in. All right, so I'm gonna take this outer cover off for now, and let's plug it into AC power. All right. Let's make some room. All right, we got more room. Now, let me go and grab some water. All right, let me go grab a glass of water, and also let me adjust this camera a little bit so my people watching on TikTok can see what's going on. All right, so I'm gonna grab a little bit of water here, and I'm gonna put it in there and some cashews, and we're gonna try to make a small amount of cashew milk. So give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got what's left of my cashews, and got to make sure the microphone is working. All right, so let's go ahead and let's test this out. So we're going to get to test two products at the same time. All right, so here is our cashew milk maker. This guy is clean because I cleaned it earlier. So we're going to go ahead and throw a few handfuls, some cashews in there. I'm gonna eat the rest. Man, it was so good. So good. All right, let's add some water to it. It needs more water. It needs more water. I'll be right back. All right, let's add more water. All right, there we go. All right, I gotta put this cup somewhere. All right, let's put the lid back on. All right. Let me find my headphones. All right, so let's go ahead and power this guy on. Let's turn on our AC power. All right, so we have power. Joanna, we do have power. So I'm going to press in this button right here. I'm going to pick milk, nut milk. Takes 8 minutes to run this. So we're going to go ahead and hit the power to start it. All right, so there we go. We are making nut milk. Now, like I said, this is going to take about 8 minutes to do it, the full cycle. So it'll start and stop a few times, and it'll just start each time. It's just giving itself a chance to settle, and then it'll do it again. All right, so let me set this camera down. All right, there we go. All right, let me check on our chat, making sure I'm not missing anything. And let me close out our laser software. All right, so yours would run about 0 seconds. So as you can see, it is being powered from this battery, from this Blue Yeti battery right here. So yes, the battery is more than able to power this. All right, so we got about 6 more minutes. We have about 6 more minutes. Like I said, it's going to cycle through this a couple of times. So I'm going to just set the camera here so you guys can see it. All right, so we got about 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. All right, so I would recommend, if you're going to make the cashew milk, you know, to also add maybe a little bit of pink Himalayan salt and possibly some vanilla or cinnamon to it as well, which, you know, really can, you know, bring up the flavor profile for your cashew milk. But if you like it just a regular taste of the cashews, you do you, boo-boo. All right. Oh my goodness, it's got 300 calories. Ooh, that is not a good thing. No, 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 no. We're trying to lose some weight. All right, so you guys can see. See if I can rotate this around. So you guys can see what's going on with our little cashew milk maker. Now, again, like I said, guys, because this is a 300 watt, battery. Probably any of the Blue Yeti batteries will be able to power something like this, including the other battery that I have here from Blue Yeti. Let me show you guys that real quick. That battery is inside of this backpack that you guys see here. So this is the hands-free one backpack. This has a 300 watt battery in it as well. And I'm pretty sure this battery would be able to to power your blender, some blenders, other devices. You know, you have 2 USB A's, 2 USB C's. You can also charge this battery off of solar panels. You have AC and DC power delivery. You got a really nice full-size backpack right here with a bunch of storage pockets in the front. two inner panels that you can store things in. You guys know I put my camera lenses and my microphones as well as my drone and batteries inside of this backpack. So really, really nice design, guys. Compact battery built in right here. This is a win. So it really just depends. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. So we have about 3 minutes left. We have about 3 minutes left on the blender. 3 minutes left on the blender. Terry says I have to drink a little bit at a time. Yeah, you can add it with coffee, Terry. You could use this for cooking as well. There's a variety of different ways you could use some cashew milk, you know, so you're not limited to just using it for coffee or things that I would normally use it for. So all right, so right now we have about 2 minutes. We have about 2 minutes and 43 seconds left. 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Let me get that camera a little bit closer so you guys can see the time on there. Oh, it's turned the wrong way. All right, so you guys can see the time on there. So, like I said, each task has a different time, but for our milk, I think it was 8 minutes in total to do the milk. All right, let me see if I have enough room on this desk to set this camera here and raise it up a little bit. There we go. All right, so you guys should be able to see everything that's going on over here. Like I said, we have a little over a minute and a half left on here, so this should be done pretty soon. All right, let me check comments over on YouTube. Let me check Facebook as well, because I don't see any comments coming in on Facebook. So let me check real quick here on Facebook. All right, I see Renee over on Facebook. And Renee says a dash of vanilla for flavor. Yes, you are correct, Renee. You are 100% correct. I agree. I was thinking, vanilla or cinnamon or something like that. So all of those are, good options, I think. All right, so we're down to our last 1 minute. So there you go. You guys can see what's going on there. So we're almost done. We're at 37 seconds, 37 seconds. All right, so 33 seconds. I think it's going to spin one more time, possibly one more time. There we go. All right, this is the last blending. All right, it's going to be shutting down in about 12 seconds. And like I said, that was run completely off of that Blue Yeti battery, guys. Off of the Blue Yeti batteries. We got 2, 3, 1, 0, 0 seconds left. Boom, it is done. It is done. Let's go over and take a look at our battery. Let's see what our power level is on the battery real quick. Let me just tap this. Yeah, we didn't even use that much power on the battery, guys, believe it or not. So I don't see a significant, drain in the amount of power that we use for the battery. Now, I didn't really check what it was before, but it's still right around that 56, I think it was like 57% power when we first started, and it's at 56% power right now, and it was able to, do that with no problem. So to me, in my book, babies, that's a win. That's a win. That's a win. What is going on with this camera, y'all? Hold on. Let me figure out what's happening with this camera. This camera's all over the place, y'all. It's all over the place. That's close enough. All right, let me get the milk out. Let's take this over to the desktop. Let's go to our top-down view. All right, so here's our little measuring glass right here. And let me unplug this guy. And let me bring this over. I'm going to just pour it into the measuring glass without making a mess. There we go. Man, I can smell the cashews. I can smell the cashews. All right, there we go. I think that's all of it. Yep. And this also has a cleaning feature as well. So you can just run some water through this guy and it will clean it. But I want you guys to see how frothy that cashew milk is, how it came out. So, yeah, that's a win. All right, let me check something real quick here. There we go. But yeah, this came out really nice. We were able to do that with a, $50 product and power it off of a solar-powered generator battery. So that was a win. That's a win in my book. That's a win in my book. Let me show y'all how much we actually have. So let me switch cameras here real quick. So you guys can see we have a little over 2 cups, right at 2 cups of cashew milk. 2 cups. That's pretty good. Pretty good. So that's a win. That's a win. All right, so let me switch this camera back real quick. Let's put a few things away. And also let me put this somewhere else so it won't just be sitting here on my desk. All right, let's see. What is the next item we have coming up in the carousel? Let me see if it's something I can just preload for you guys. Or maybe I have a video on it. Yeah, I do have a video on it. So let's just go ahead and play one of my videos. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let's see if I can play. What can I play? Can I play the video of us from the drone? Yeah. Okay, let me do that. Because I want to show you guys 2 different things. So we're going to show the drone and camera. So give me a second to find our video. Okay, where is it? So we don't want to play this whole video, but we're going to just play some of it. So let's go ahead and go over to the desktop here real quick. Let me go ahead and click on this video. And let's start it to play. Let's go ahead and bring up the volume. We're going to do a little bit of an experiment. We're going to take out the Ozbot Tail 2, and we're going to see if this new camera from Ozbot can track the DJI Air 3S in flight. Now, there may be some challenges in my backyard because of the grass, the fence, the houses beyond. So we'll see how well it tracks it throughout those type of environments. And hopefully, cross your fingers, knock on wood, that this will do a great job. I have a lot of confidence in this camera, guys. I've been using Ozbot products for quite some time, and I would like to thank Ozbot again for sending this camera out for me to test, and you can believe I will be testing the paint off of this camera. So this is just test number 1. Let's take the drone out, let's put it in the air and see exactly what we get. All right, guys, we're outside now. I want to show you guys really quickly how I have everything, all of the things that we're going to be using for this test. We have our Air 3S, we have our landing pad that you guys see right here. I have my iPhone 16 Pro Max, we have our controller, we have a little tripod that I'm going to use for the phone. We have the Ozbot Talent. We have the 00 Robotics, that's the Hover Air 1. And we have the new Ozbot camera. This is the Tail 2, and this is what we're testing. All right, so this is the equipment that I'm going to be using to do this test. Let's get to it. All right, guys, so out here in my backyard, as you guys can see, I have the Tail 2 set up. We're going to use that table out there as our launching position, and obviously we're going to be using the Talent to monitor everything and also to record. You guys can see how clear the video is coming in off of that camera. So let me go out and set everything else up and we'll get started, and I'll show you guys what everything looks like. All right, guys, as you can see here, we have the Tail 2 set up. I have the controller here in my hands, so we're ready to run. I'm going to go ahead and spool up the drone. And before I launch the drone, I'm going to make sure that it is still tracking the drone. All right, so I'm showing that it is tracking the drone. So we're just going to take the drone up just a little bit. All right, guys, so as you can see now, it is tracking the drone. I had to reselect it. So I'm gonna take the drone up a little bit, see if it's gonna track it up. Bring it back down. Let's take it off to the side. Let's go in the opposite direction. Okay, let's go forward. Let's go backwards. Again, we're gonna go up, back down. So from what I can tell, it looks like it's tracking it very efficiently. So I'm going to turn the drone around a little bit more toward the camera. And let's bring that forward. And I'm going to fly it in toward the camera. Let's bring it over a little bit. Bring it back around. Let's bring this guy over. Let's see if it's going to follow it. Let's bring it forward. Let's bring it back down. So far, everything that I'm seeing here, it's able to track the drone without any problems. So if it can track something as small as this, I think, guys, this is going to be a very good tracking system. There we go. Back and forth. We can do our little box move, come forward, go backwards. Still tracking. All right, guys, as you can see, the drone and the camera worked great together. You know, obviously it was really, relatively easy for me to set it up for the camera to track the drone. And the drone itself, it's an amazing drone, guys. It is from DJI. DJI makes some outstanding products. I use a lot of DJI products right here in the studio. I use the Pocket 3, the Osmo Pocket 3, as one of my cameras, for recording content almost daily. I use also one of their microphones as well. Now, talking a little bit more about the drone. It does have a ton of features. Now, let me grab it real quick here. So here's our drone. This is the Air 3S. Now I received the Fly More combo, which comes with 3 batteries. It comes with a controller. It comes with a nice little bag that comes with it as well. Oh, let me get it. It comes with this nice little bag here that you can fit everything inside of: the drone, the batteries, the controller, your spare props, all of that kind of stuff. Your user manuals, has a shoulder strap. So this is going to be great for like day trips and stuff like that. If that's all you're going to be doing, just going out for like a little day trip, this is going to be ideal because that's what it's designed for. Now, when I do, like I said, my larger, commercial jobs, I'm going to be taking other cameras, lenses, and other equipment with me. That's why I rely on the Blue Yeti backpack, because it's going to give me that 300-watt battery I can use to charge up batteries for the drone or for the camera, whatever the case it may be. So that's a win. But anyway, put this guy back here. And if you guys have not seen the controller for this drone, this is the controller. Now, this is the RC2. There is a new controller that was just released for the Mavic 4. I have not received the Mavic 4 yet, but this is my favorite controller so far, it is a fingerprint magnet. I do have a screen protector on here as well, but it does not protect from it doesn't protect from fingerprints. But tell you something cool that DJI just gave us. They actually gave us a drone simulator. So if you're not comfortable yet flying your drone, there's actually a simulator game that you can play on here to practice flying before you're ready to maybe go out and fly your drone in person. So let me show you guys what that's like here really quickly. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and turn the controller on. Just gonna press it one time, then hold it, and that will power the controller up. Once this is up, I'm going to go into the simulator mode and show you guys what that looks like. It'll be there in a second. It is not lightning fast, I'm gonna tell y'all right now when it comes to launching this. All right, so our controller is up, and then right here on the screen, you guys should be able to see what is this? A new version is available, fixes issues. So there's an update right now for the controller, but I'm not going to do the update. So I'm just going to go not now, and I'm going to go into the simulator, and I'm going to show you guys how the simulator works. So when you first run the simulator, there is a basic course that you can go through, and this will kind of walk you through how each component of the drone works, how the sticks work, how to select your speed, how to return to home, how to use your buttons on the back if you have those programmed. So you have all of that ready to rock and roll if you wanted to do that as well, which is really simple to go through. I'll show you guys what that looks like in case you are interested. So when you first start it up, it's going to ask you, or it's going to give you some instructions on, you know, how to get started. So it's going to say tap on the screen for 2 seconds, and it's showing you where everything is. So it wants you to move the speed to from normal to cinematic. And then each one of the steps is going to walk you through each one of the steps, right? So to launch the drone, you're just going to pull both of the sticks in just like so. And then when you're ready for the drone to go up, all you have to do is just use this stick right here. Just going to push it up. And you see a little arrow right there. When you get to the top of the arrow, you've completed that task. And then it's going to give you another task, okay? And these tasks come like every few seconds. So we have one more task. Well, we got a couple more tasks. So we're going to go forward now. So that's what it wants us to do. So we're going to fly the drone forward. Now, normally I don't use just one finger. I will use like 2 fingers to control the drone. So, all right, we've hit our point right there. And then the next thing we're going to do is whatever it tells us to do. I think it's going to tell us to move to the side. Yes. All right, so this joystick right here on my right side is what we're going to be using. So we're just going to start moving this guy to the side like that. So we're just kind of, you know, and it's going to ask us to go back in the opposite direction. So we're going to do that. I'm going to fly off to this side. Boom, we're done there as well. All right, so it's going to give us a couple of more things to do, and then we're going to go on a little flight. So the next thing it wants us to do is to turn the drone. So you can just do this, and it's going to turn, in this case, to the left, like so. And then you're going to turn it back in the opposite direction to the right. So it's going to now rotate it back to the right. Now the drone that is flying in the simulator here is the new Mavic 4 Pro. So hopefully you guys can see the screen very well. All right, let's see what we got going on next. So next, it is talking about our GPS, or amount of satellites that, you know, it has. It wants us to fly through this ring. If you guys can see that ring right there. So we're going to start flying forward. We're going to fly through that ring. And then we're going to go over, tilt a little bit, and we're going to fly through this next ring here, like that. And we're going to go over here. We're going to fly through this next ring. Let's go forward. Let's move it over a little bit. So you can move the drone to the left, to the right, like so. You can also turn it whichever direction you want it to face, like so. and then you can get it right about dead on, and then you can fly forward straight through whatever it is you want to fly through. Oops, I almost passed it. Hold on, let me go back. And let's go back. Oops. And let's go to the side over here. I'm going to line back up so you guys can see that. So we're going to come back over just a little bit, right about there, right about here, and then we're just going to fly forward through the ring. All right, we're going up for some reason. That doesn't make any sense. Let's come back down, and let's go forward. Go through the ring. It won't go through the ring. Why won't it go through the ring? It won't go through the ring. Hold on, let me fix it. All right, let's see what's going on. Why won't it go through the ring? That is weird. Okay, because I've never had a problem with this before. So let me try lining this guy up again. For some reason, it doesn't like the position that I'm angling from. All right, so let's try that again. Let's fly forward, and let's go through the ring. There we go, through the ring. Not above the ring. Why does it keep going up? Maybe that's why there's a firmware update, because there's something wrong with the simulator. This thing is already driving me crazy. I am not a game person, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. All right, I'm just gonna fly right through this thing. Come on, go, go. Boop. All right, here's another one. Let's see if we can fly right through that one without so much drama. All right, let's see if we can just fly through this one without as much drama. There we go. All right, there we go. So we flew through successfully. Finally. I don't know what was going on there. I have no idea. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and back out of that. But I just wanted you guys to see that there is a simulator on the controller that you can practice with if you're not comfortable flying your drone. And I believe in the future, it will have more drones for you to choose from, so that you'll have something that's similar to the drone that you're actually using. All right, so let's go ahead and turn this guy off. Wait for it to go back to the main screen. We're just going to tap one time and then turn it off. There we go. Let's let it shut down. All right, so this is the controller, the RC2 controller for our DJI Air 3S. All right, so if you guys have any questions about the drone or anything else that we've taken a look at so far tonight, feel free to drop it down in the comments. All right, so we got a couple more things. Most of these things are kind of minor. We do have a cable I want to show you guys here real quick. So this cable right here, I got specifically for that controller, okay? This is a USB-C to HDMI cable. This is braided from Ugreen. So this allows me to connect the controller and send the video output to another device like this monitor that you guys see right here, or to one of my streaming devices, whatever the case it is. But you have a full-size HDMI on one side, and you have the USB-C on this side here. And yes, this does work spectacularly, and the price is great on this as well. Nice braided cable, feels great in the hands. $18.99. Check this out. And of course, you could use this for a variety of different things. You don't have to use it for, my case scenario. You can use it for something that you want to connect to an HDMI monitor. It could be a television. Connect to a television. It could be a phone. It could be a tablet. It could be a computer. There's so many variety of different things you can use a cable like this to connect to. Now, we already looked a little bit at some of our other Ozbot gear, but let's go ahead and cover this really quickly. So here's another product from Ozbot, and this is what I was talking about, the Ozbot Talent. You're able to connect 2 HDMI devices to this, 1 USB device. You have Ethernet, full-size SD card here. You have a USB-C out. You have it comes with a cable, so a 12-volt, 1.5 amp plug comes with this guy. You have line in, mic in, headphone jacks, and you have an additional USB A on this side right next to the power button. And you can also power this off of the Sony MPF batteries. But I needed that HDMI cable to be able to connect this to my controller so that I would be able to live stream and show the drone flight or whatever else I wanted to connect to this. But mostly it was for drone flight. That was my whole purpose for getting the cable. But anyway, this device right here, guys, again, is from our friends over at Ozbot. And this is a 4-in-1 device. It is a recorder, it is a monitor, it is an encoder, and it is also a streaming device. Okay, so you have a variety of different things you can do with this. You can connect cameras to this, either wired or wireless. So I can use some of the cameras that came with the bundle, like this camera here, which is the Osbot Tail Air. Now this is a PTZ camera, which means pan, tilt, and zoom. This camera, you can install an SD card to this that will record internally 4K 60 up to 4K 60. You do have an HDMI connection here, which is a micro HDMI to full-size HDMI in most cases. USB-C is another option here, and you can also plug in an audio device, you know, using one of the 3.5 cables. But I usually connect this camera to this device wirelessly, and I use SRT. You can also use NDI. It just really depends on, you know, if you want to go with something that's free or something that's paid for. So you can pay for an NDI license. It's usually $100 additional per camera for an NDI license, but SRT is an open protocol, so anyone can use it for free. You just have to set everything up. So once this camera is connected, we should see the video show up on this screen right here, and just give it a few seconds for it to catch up. Let me go ahead and just put this camera up here on top of this monitor, and there is the video source now right here. You guys can see me here on the screen. Now I'm going to also use this remote that comes with the bundle. I'm going to turn this guy on and see which camera's connected. So that should be camera 1. I'm going to just go ahead and rotate this around. I'm going to tilt it down a little bit, and you guys can see me now here on the screen. So I'm just going to use this for now to control it. Now what's nice about the remote, you can control up to 3 cameras. You can have, each camera can have up to 3 presets. You have people tracking, pet tracking. You also have a laser that you can generate, you know, for as a pointer. You have a photo button, a record button. You have a joystick here. You also have a zoom rocker right here on the side. So I can zoom in on myself. As you guys see here, I can zoom back out. I can tilt the camera up a little bit. So if I was streaming from this camera, it gives me a lot of flexibility. Of course, I could set that position right there as a preset. So if I press and hold on this button, this will set that as a preset, so that I could go to one of the other presets real quick here. Then I can go back to the original preset. And you can do that throughout your stream in real time if you're moving the cameras around and just setting everything up. Now you can also connect this remote to the talent and still be able to control the cameras. Once you switch over to the scenes, you'll have to, you know, switch over to the scene, then switch to the camera, and then you'll be able to control it through this as well. And also there is a web portal that you can log into that will allow you to also connect to this device and, you know, control all of the different features. Now it has a full audio interface, or should I say it has a full suite of audio meters. So any audio that's coming into the device, you'll be able to see it right here, whether that's from a microphone, from a web source, or even from pre-recorded video that you'd want to play back on here. So you have that. You have graphics in here. You can, you know, start a countdown timer. You have a number of options. You have your titles, lower thirds, animated titles. You have digital clocks, analog clocks, bullet points. For my teachers out there, you have your social media bugs on here as well. You have a logo you can bring in off your SD card. You have a scoreboard for any of my sports enthusiasts out there. You have a scoreboard that you can use with this unit as well. You have a stopwatch. So maybe you're doing a cooking tutorial or something like that. You can use the stopwatch feature here. You can bring in your web graphics, and you can also do something custom. Now you have another cool feature here where you can actually draw on the screen, which is really nice. So like if you want to annotate something or draw a square or box or a line or whatever it is around something that you're talking about in your scene, you'll be able to do that as well. And you can change the colors, the thickness, all of that kind of cool jazz. So in a nutshell, guys, this is a very flexible device. It's going to give you the ability to, you know, set up your live streams either in this landscape orientation or in a portrait orientation if you want to stream to Instagram or TikTok or something like that. or in this orientation, you can stream obviously to other platforms. You do have some of those already set up here. You have Facebook, you have YouTube, Twitch. You can do NDI. You can also do SRT, where you can go in and set up, your cameras that way. And you also have RTMP, so you can log into platforms like, here on Amazon or LinkedIn or whatever it is, if you know what your stream code is, your streaming URL is and what your stream code is. In order to log into those. So you can use it for all of those things. So anyway, guys, in a nutshell, this is an amazing little device. I am a huge fan of it. And it works with all of the Ozbot cameras, including the one that we looked at just a few minutes ago, the Ozbot Tail 2 that we're using to track the DJI Air 3S. Amazing camera. That camera, in case you guys are curious, is $1,259. Yes, all of these Ozbot cameras were sent to me by Ozbot guys, for the purpose of reviewing them and demoing them, to you guys. Now, there are some smaller, more economical cameras here. We have the Ozbot Tiny SE, and then we also have the Ozbot Tiny 2. Now, the Tiny 2 Lite, let me grab it. Where is it? I don't know where it went. Where did it go? Hold on. I think it's on the other desk. Yeah, there it is. I got it. Okay, so this is the Ozbot Tiny 2 Lite. Now, this is a 4K camera. The SE is a 1080p camera. They both look very similar. They're both PTZ cameras. They both can pan, tilt, and zoom. But both of these cameras do require them to be connected to a device like a laptop or tablet or phone or something like the Talent that we have here. These will work with devices like the YOLO boxes and things like that. Because anything that will take UVC, which is your USB connection to the device. But yeah, these all work. So both of these cameras, really nice pricing on them, guys. The Ozbot Tiny 2 Lite right now is $159. The Ozbot Tiny SE is currently $99. So you have a few choices there. And yes, both of these cameras will work with this device. You just have to connect to them using a cable, and that's your standard USB cable, your data cable. Yes, it works perfectly with this. No problems whatsoever. Now, of course, you do not want to rely on the microphones built into these cameras. You want some other type of audio source. I do highly recommend that. One of my favorite audio devices that I use on a regular basis. Let me grab these guys here and show them to you. Now, these are from our friends over at Anchor. These are the AnchorWork M650 wireless microphones. You get a kit. You're going to get 2 of the omnidirectional microphones. You also get the receiver. This has an adapter for Lightning and also an adapter for USB-C. You just connect it right here at the bottom. You can also connect this using a 3.5 cable like we talked about before, so you can plug this in and you'll be able to use this as your microphones of choice. These are great if you're trying to stay, minimalistic when you're going out on a job or something. These do have internal recording as well. The line of sight on these guys is about 600 feet. Providing there's no big obstacles in the way. This case also charges the microphones and the receiver inside of the case, so that's going to make it very, very travel friendly. So in a box right here, you could, just think about all of the things we talked about so far, these small cameras, this device right here, everything, guys, including this remote, you can fit inside of a backpack. Take this to school with you, take it to work with you, take it pretty much wherever you want to take it. And it's just a very easy device to travel with. Now, if you want to take your audio game to the next level, then I would say take a look at something like my Rodecaster Pro over here. So this is my Rodecaster Pro 2. This is the audio interface that I use for my live streams and for, Zoom calls and a lot of different content that I create with that. This is the microphone that I usually use in studio as well. This is the Rode Procaster, which is a just a rock star of a microphone. But as you guys can see, this is a big microphone. This is a big audio interface. And again, if you're trying to stay minimalistic, you may want to take a look at this guy right here from our friends over at Nearstream. So this is an audio interface as well. Now this one is only designed for one microphone. You can connect a guitar to this. This will produce phantom power as well. You have all of your controls right here on the front. You have your de-esser. You have your voice remover. You have your effect mode. You have your gain knob on here as well. You have a gain for and reverb on this guy. You have bass, treble, mid, all of those here. On the front, as you guys can see here, you can also plug in for power a USB-C. You can also connect another USB-C device to this. You can plug in headphones. You can plug in a phone. You can plug in another device if you wanted to use that for audio in, during your live stream, you wanted to play music in the background. You can do all of that with this. And when you look at these two devices, you can see they can match up really well. They're not going to take up much room again. So let's set this up the normal way this would be set up on a desk. So we would have, let's say we would have our talent, not so cockeyed, but you get the idea. And then you could have this audio interface right here. You could connect this to a smaller microphone. And yeah, it's a whole kit, guys. It's a complete kit, for live streaming, audio, whatever the case it will be. And yes, this will work with other devices. It'll work with your YOLO boxes. It'll work with the InStream. It'll work with your computer. It'll work with, some phones are compatible with this as well. This does have a battery inside, so it does have battery power. You guys see I could just turn this on. Everything lights up. So you do need to charge it. But, if you're out in the field, and you have perhaps one of these batteries back here, you'll be able to stream all day, all night, and, keep everything charged up at the same time, guys. It's going to be a win. All right, let me go ahead and power this guy off here real quick and put this over here out of the way. And let's turn some of this stuff off because we got way too many things on right now. So we're going to go ahead and power off our talent. And I just have to press and hold the little button right here, hit power off, let this guy shut down. There we go. All right, so let's turn off the cameras. So here's the other camera up here. I just have it sitting on top of this this air purifier. So let's go ahead and turn this guy off as well. Let's power it off real quick. I just want you guys to also see how efficient it is to shut everything down and pack everything away. It doesn't take long for these to power down, and you can just put them inside of the case that comes with them or your backpack or whatever device you want to put these in. And they just, like I said, pack up really, really well. So there you go. All right, what is the next item we have in the carousel? That's actually this guy right here, and this is our portable smoke machine. So let's go back over to the top down. Let me show you guys what that looks like. All right, so here is our portable smoke machine. Now this is from a company called Cobor. This is the CF5 Pro. This is a 40-watt portable fog machine. It has interchangeable heads. It does have a tank for your fog juice right here. These connect magnetically. You can also rotate the top of this by just pressing on this little button, and you can rotate this to 60 degrees, which just makes it a little bit easier to get it close to a surface. So if you want to do like that dry ice effect, it just makes it really easy to get it down to the desk. On this side here, you have your up and down buttons, you have your power button, and you can cycle, also it's the cycle button. It also has a little LCD right here, and you also have your power or play button right here, which is going to basically produce the fog. Okay, so once this is on, which it is now, I can just press that little yellow button and I can start laying some fog down here on the desk. So you guys can see how that works. So you can just imagine if I was, gearing up to shoot like a product video or something like that, and I wanted a lot of fog on the desk or a fog effect, it's literally that easy, to be able to use something like this. And like I said, it comes with other accessories. This little head right here is adjustable, so you can kind of adjust it and position it wherever you want to be able to put fog inside of things, whatever the case is going to be. This just comes off using the magnets. And then we have another head for it. This is the other head right here. This one also has an LED light built into it. So let's go ahead and connect this guy here real quick, and let's bring up the fan just a little bit. It has an additional fan inside here. You guys should be able to hear that over the microphone. And we're also going to turn to our color mode, and I'm going to adjust the color so you guys can see this little color ring will turn on. So let's go ahead and bring that up to any color will do. That's good enough. So now if you're trying to do a cool lighting effect with some light and some fog, you can just pretty much press the little button and you're going to get that lit fog effect. You guys can see that, how we're fogging up the studio. So yeah, so if you're trying to put a little bit of haze or atmosphere in a room for photography, videography, product video, whatever the case is going to be, this is going to be a great little tool. And like I said, you can adjust the head easily. USB-C to charge this guy. It does have a 1/4-20 underneath this, so you can mount this on a tripod. You could mount this guy upside down. It does come with a remote as well. Here's our little remote. So here's the remote that comes with it. I can trigger it from the remote, and even if this was above me, I could just press the little button like that, and I could start the fog, and I could just have the fog just coming down from behind me, off to the side, whatever. And especially if you had this up somewhere high and you couldn't climb up there or want to climb up there all the time, every time you want to adjust it, it's really nice to have a remote for this guy. So it's a win. Now this right now is only it's only $129, guys, and it does come with a nice little travel case as well. There are some other accessories that come with it, which are basically just some little spouts. But it comes with this really nice little travel case. Everything fits inside of the travel case. So this all can go in your backpack, your camera bag, maybe your grip bag or whatever it is. So you got all of these things you can take out with you on location, or set up your own home or studio recording sessions, doing video podcasts, whatever it is. You want to add a little atmosphere, you can just have that thing sitting in the back there somewhere on, and just press a button, just poof, a little bit of smoke pop up in the background whenever you want to, because you got some lights back there. Yeah, this is a win, guys. It is a win. All right, so we only have one more item, technically two, but let me show you what it is. So our final item, regular item, is this guy right here. This is the YOLObox Pro. Now, YOLObox sent these devices out to me a couple of years ago, the YOLObox Pro, the YOLObox Mini, and also the YOLO Live InStream, which is this guy right here, which is designed for streaming to platforms like Instagram and to TikTok. This one right here is more designed for streaming to your standard 16:9 platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Amazon, LinkedIn, all of those type of things, right? So just like the Talent we looked at a few minutes ago, it has a similar type of UI where you can have multiple layers, you can bring in graphics, you can have multiple cameras connected to it. Let me show you guys what this looks like from the top down so you guys can see how many cameras you can actually connect to this. So you can actually connect 3 HDMI cameras to this in one USB device in. You have Ethernet, you have HDMI out, you have USB out as well. You have your headphone input right there. You have 2 inputs for audio here, line in or mic in, and another USB here for charging it. Underneath, you do have that full-size SD card, just like we did on a Talent, but this one also has a SIM card tray, so you can actually use a SIM card just like you would in your phone, and that can be an option for you to live stream. Now, this metal cage that you see here does not come with it. That's actually from a company called YC Onion. You can actually purchase this for a variety of different type of monitors, as well as these streaming decks. They give you a lot of quarter 20 mounting points here, and also some cold shoe mounting points. So if you wanted to mount like a microphone receiver or something like that on here and plug it in, that's just going to make it much easier to attach everything. This is larger than the Talent. As you guys can see, it's a much larger screen. Let me see if I can turn this guy on real quick here so I can show you guys what this looks like when it's on. All of them take about the same amount of time to turn on. This device right here, I've been using this for probably about 2 years now. They have done a ton of updates for it, adding a bunch of new features to it. So depending on how much you need, as far as the amount of cameras to connect, there's this unit, there's a smaller unit, and there's a variety of other newer units that are available as well that will give you more flexibility and a lot more features and a faster processor. I'm looking forward to receiving one of their newer units so that I can start. I'm thinking about redoing my entire live stream, guys, so that I will be streaming solely from one of these devices, using all the different cameras that I have available to me, and that way I can just pretty much incorporate the same style live stream wherever I go. But anyway, here's some of the layout. As you guys can see now, one of the other advantages this device has, you can stream free up to 3 different destinations at the same time. Now that's achieved by sending your signal to the YOLO Live servers, and then it'll distribute it out to the other platforms. You have record, you have stream button here. This will do 1080p up to 60 frames a second. You have a replay button here. You can also take a look at all the different devices you can connect to this. Of course, the ones we before mentioned, which is going to be your HDMI, your USB. You also have the ability to bring in video with audio from an SD card. You can bring in a live stream. You can, play a PDF here. You have images you can bring in, and you can also bring in NDI devices from this as well. So you got a lot of different things that you can do with this device. You have layers. You can bring in things like image overlays, lower thirds, countdown timers, your web graphics. You have titles that you can bring in as well, to customize your live stream. You also have, social overlays, for things like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of that stuff. You have that right here as well. You can also, what's really unique is you can bring in live guests. So you can actually send a message or an email to someone, bring them in as a live guest, and they can use pretty much any device. It could be a computer with a microphone attached to it. It could be a smartphone. It could be a tablet with a microphone connected to it. And you can bring them in to your live stream as a guest. You have audio controls here as well. You also have a scoreboard that you can set up for this one as well. You can go in and customize the scoreboard, which is really nice. You also have live chat. Both devices have live chat, but it's just implemented differently. But you have live chat on this guy that you can also bring in the chat. You can also go in and customize how you want the live chat to look, which of these 3 you want to be able to choose, which is really nice, especially if you stream like I do over on YouTube and other platforms. This is a very welcome feature to have. You also have the ability to set cameras to auto switch. So like for my DJs out there, my wedding event photographers, videographers, this is going to be great. Set up a few cameras, have one set as your main camera, the other one set as like a B or C or D camera, and then this will automatically loop and switch between those cameras and come back whatever you set as the main source camera here as well. So that's pretty cool that you have that built into the device. And then of course you have your standard settings and all of that. So really nice setup, very nice UI, guys. Really, really easy to use, very user friendly. This has been a very reliable device. So again, if you're looking for something like this, this is a win. Now, right now you can get the YOLO Box Pro, which is this model right here, for $997.98. Will get you this guy right here. All right, so let's go ahead and power this guy down and pop back over to our main camera. All right, so we only have one item left in the carousel. Let me grab it here real quick. So this last item we have listed in the carousel, guys, is something that I add to the carousel every single night. and that is these drawstring backpacks. You guys probably see me talking about these all the time. Now, of course, these could be used for a variety of different things. You could use these for storage. You could use these for reusable shopping bags. You know, you could use these for a day trip, or, you know, whatever it is, you know, for the kiddos, the pets, the fur babies. You want to throw some of their stuff in here. You know, all of that is a possibility. Now, I had some silk screening done on some of the ones that we have. The B4H stands for Bikers for the Homeless. And we were collect items, purchase items here on Amazon and other places that we would then put inside of these backpacks so that we can donate them directly to individuals and, you know, the homeless community, women's shelters, even, you know, doing versions of this for the pet shelters as well. So the backpacks themselves, guys, are very inexpensive, but, you know, the joy and the love that you're going to put in someone's heart, sharing something like this with them, is priceless, okay? So we normally buy here on Amazon toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizers, Band-Aids, pens, pencils, underwear, socks, anything that you think a homeless person can benefit from that they probably don't have in abundance, you will be able to fill these backpacks with and donate them to them. Or even if you don't want to go the backpack route, that's cool. Get yourself some industrial, larger Ziploc bags. Those work too. Just fill it with some love, some items. And when you're driving around, going throughout your day, stopping at a convenience store, whatever the case it may be, drop a little bit of love in someone's life, guys. Drop a little bit of love in someone's life. Y'all know how we do. All right, my babies. I want to thank everybody for stopping in all the different platforms. Everybody that's watching over on YouTube, watching on Facebook, watching here on Amazon, watching over on TikTok. I want to thank you one and all. Yeah! All right, my babies, I will be back here in about 48 hours, rocking it out with you guys, creating new things. So for those who may not have seen, we did create something new tonight. This little angel was inspired by Terry. Terry wanted an angel. The night before, Terry was the first person in the stream. She wanted this little puffin. We did that as well on our last stream. But this is what we made tonight, this cute little angel right here. All right, guys, so I'm going to go and wrap it up. It's time for me to go make dinner. Smokey's already patrolling around, ready to eat his dinner as well. So it's time for me to do that thing. Do that thing. Let's go. All right, my babies, stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask when appropriate, take care of your loved ones. Get out there and create something amazing each and every single day. Do good in the world, guys. Be a good human. Pay it forward. Be that pebble in the pond. Be that pebble in the pond. Let the ripples of love spread everywhere you go. Do good in the world and encourage others to do the same. That's all I can say from the bottom of my heart, guys. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging out with me. And I am so inspired to hear about things that you guys are doing personally in the world to help your fellow man, woman, child, whatever the case it may be. Y'all know how we do. We try to show that love every opportunity we get, my babies. All right, y'all, it's time for me to wrap it up for the night, but it's time for me to say the magic words. Here we go now. Peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out, bam, my babies. I am out of here. Love y'all. See y'all right back here on Amazon, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all them places in 48 hours, my babies. I'll see y'all soon. Love y'all, but I got to go. Peace. I'm out.